Hey there, CPO here, and you're looking at my Jeep overclocked through a thermal camera. That's right. In this video, I'm going to do some thermal imaging of my hood to see if the Daystar hood cowl actually reduces engine compartment temperatures and moves heat the way they advertise it does. That's right, guys. I have built this little rig that will allow me to walk around with a video camera and this little FLIR thermal imaging camera. So hopefully this isn't too annoying for you guys, but basically I wanted to try and give you that video view. The FLIR can do photos, this particular model, but doesn't have a way to do video. So hopefully we can capture all this together. So anyway, that's right. I did install the hood scoop, the Daystar Cowl hood scoop. And what it does is it has an intake up here in the front, and then it has ducting that goes out here to the side vents. Hopefully you can see that. And so what I want to know is it effective? Now, Daystar has gone on record in a forum saying that they worked with Jeep to identify the hot spots in the hood. And then this vent location in the front of this cowl is supposed to be there because there's a hot spot there that they want to evacuate hot air. Now, to be fair, they do have other side vents that I don't have installed. So I cannot expect the same type of reduction in temperatures that they would like to see because I'm only using part of their system, which is just the cowl. But anyway, so what I have is the Jeep in the garage, and the reason it's in here is so that it can get cooled and stabilized in temperature, because when it was outside, the temperature of the hood was dependent upon the sun shining directly on it, and I didn't want any of that variable. So right now, it's been sitting in the garage and fairly well evenly temped. So what I'm gonna do is, so I also, for this first run, I plugged that vent hole in the hood that I cut for the cowl. So I stuffed some rags in there and put some tape over it to insulate it and prevent airflow. I want to see those hot spots. Now, I can't go back in time and do a before video without the cowl, but I can try my best to prevent it from functioning to see what the difference is. All right, let's start this bad boy. Now I'm going to let this run and heat up, and then we'll see if we can identify any hot spots. But as you can already see, heat is being generated. Get in there through the fender well. You can see the engine there. So yeah, I'm going to let this warm up, and we'll see what hot spots show up on the hood. All right, so it's literally been running for just a couple of minutes, and you can see I have my windshield defroster on because the windshield is heating up. But I do want to show you there's a couple of hot spots already developing on the hood. Everything seems to be relative, so I have to find that spot. But you can see right about, I don't know, you can see this is the front corner of the cowls right there, and then the back of the cowls there, and this is the hood latch. So see right there on the side, let's see if I can find it with my hand for you. Yeah, right here. So that's actually one of the places I believe that they want you to place the side vents. So I'm already seeing there are some hot spots developing in that area. I'm going to pull back so you can kind of hopefully see where that is in relation to the rest of the Jeep. See that? We'll go around to the other side. where I haven't been putting my hand. Yeah, see that hot spot right there? Now let's look at the front where I have the cowl vent. Now unfortunately, I actually have the cowl here, so it's going to insulate a little bit. We may not be able to see as much, but if you look right down here in the seam, there is some hot spot developing. Let's see if I can figure out how to show that again. There you go. In the very front, right at the front edge of where that cowl hits is where you have hot spot developing. So the interesting thing with this FLIR thermal imaging device is the scale changes based on what all is going on. So if I pointed at something hot, like the front of my windshield, other areas that would be hot by themselves are going to look cooler in relation. So you have to try and separate things. See, once I get that excluded by itself, you can see that hot spot on the side of the hood. That top line there, right there, is the edge of the cowl. Same thing here. This is the front edge of the cowl right there. And you can see a little bit of heat building up. Like I said, it's kind of hard because we're covering up and insulating that spot. And then yeah, on this other side, the edge of the cowl definitely right about here. So yeah, that's exactly where, well, here's the latch for the hood, so you can kind of see the placement where that hot spot's building up. It's kind of fascinating. What you don't see is the cowl heating up because I don't have any airflow going through it right now. That's all blocked. Here, once it gets up to temperature, I will release that and let it build up. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go drive around and really warm this engine up, and then we'll get the same video and see what happens. All right, I went for a drive, parked back in the garage, not very far, just got the engine coolant temp up to about 200. And let's see what we see. Obviously, some serious hot spots on the side. Now you know why hoods always vent right here. Now, I'm going to show you where that spot is by dropping this FLIR down. Right here. See that? Right here. So all those vents you see on Jeep hoods or the Daystar vents that they want you to place right there, that's why, because look, that's where the hot spot is. That's pretty awesome, actually. Maybe there is something to be said for this research they did. All right, so unfortunately, again, it's kind of hard to tell because we're insulating the front. You can start to see some heat build up, just radiant heat from the cowl. Let me see what temperature that is. That's showing 60 degrees on top of that. '94 seems to be the hottest on the side. I'm going to lift up this hood, see if I can get a temperature right underneath here. And then I'll pull out that block. $150s, $160s. That's the coolant overflow. That red thing, that's a coolant overflow hose. That's pretty cool. So this is the air intake, which is why it's cooler, right? Because it's bringing in cool air from the outside, particularly for me, because I have that cold air intake sort of a setup. Just looking around now, just because it's so freaking cool. All right, so I'm going to pull my tape off and release this to see what difference it makes, if any. If anything, we should get a chance to see some hot air evacuating out of those ducts. And so I'm going to try it first with the vehicle just sitting here, and we'll see if it makes a difference even at idle. And then I'll go drive around a little bit and heat it up. All right, so you see here where it's dark right there and right there, that's the actual ductwork for that scoop. And you see some warm coming out of the inside of there already, just from opening that up. What's the temperature of that air coming out of there? Now I'm not going to remember all those temperatures I just showed you, so I'll have to go back and do a comparison. You can see definitely the hot spot building right there. And now that I opened up that vent, you can start to see some of that airflow. It's literally been just a couple of minutes, if that, not even. And I haven't gone anywhere, and you can see that air is escaping into the cowl. Well, I tell you what though, these spots here on the side, holy cow. I don't really like the look of those vents there, but man, if you want to cool down the engine compartment, that's where you want your vents. That's crazy. Let me give it a few more minutes and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, it's been just a couple of minutes. Check it out. Air is clearly escaping at idle, sitting here in the garage through the cowl. Matter of fact, I can feel it warm in there. You can see it's like 90 degrees, 95 coming out of there, 96. You can also see that hot spot building now. Well, now the whole hood's kind of hot. Once we get some airflow going, it'll probably stabilize. Yeah, definitely the sides there, and then this front. Oh, cool. That's pretty awesome. Man, that's crazy. It shows you how much it's heating up right here in the front. $101 coming out, 108. So I know this isn't a scientific process, but it's pretty freaking cool to check out, don't you think? So what does it tell me just so far? And I'll go drive around. It tells me that it really does vent heat out of the hood compartment without airflow. Does it do it any more than any other hood vent? I doubt it. I don't know, but I can tell you also that if you really want to vent, these side vent spots are the place to go. And now I'm considering whether or not I want to louver that or something. I guess I could put the Daystar vents there. I don't know. I kind of like the clean look with the scoop. So sometimes you sacrifice capability for looks. I know it's dumb, but that's what we do. Now you can really see that coming through. Now my hand isn't the hot spot anymore. All right, so let me check under hood temps real quick. Yeah, everything's getting nice and hot now. What is that getting so hot? Oh, that's the that's the radiator hose. Now, what they claimed Daystar did was, oh, look at there. Was that there's a low pressure area, or maybe it's a high pressure area. I don't remember now. There's a change in pressure in this front area, which is why they put that where they did. All right, I'm gonna go drive. We'll come back, see what this thing does. Okay, I'm back from a little drive. And those hot spots are still there. This one in the front is completely gone. Look at that, where the vent is. And this is all sort of cooled down. It looks like cooler air was coming out of there. And this is only, that's crazy. That's not what I expected. Now it's heating back up again. What I expected was this ductwork to be hot because it was sucking hot air. What I think is happening is it's bringing in so much fresh cold air that it's actually cooler than I would think. But you can see here, you have the hot spots where there are no side vents, but that front, but now it's heated back up, of course. But this front area, it's actually still pretty cold. It's 50 degrees outside, but and this was after driving. You can see I don't have a hood blanket. So the hood blanket I take out because I don't want it to get all muddy and nasty and it's just hard to clean. But you can see how it would insulate and protect the hood from excessive heat. And that's really what it's there for. It's there to protect the paint, to be honest with you, to keep that from getting too hot. But you can see there, 110 degrees-ish on these sides. How about this one? So yeah, while this does let hot air to escape when you're not driving, it surprisingly cools that action as you are driving. So I don't know, this is not a scientific test. If you have any ideas, let me know. I probably shouldn't have taken the vent cover off so soon. Maybe let the engine compartment completely get hot, which it clearly is now. But I feel like I don't have enough evidence to prove that it reduces engine compartment temperatures by 12%, which is what they say. But I do have enough evidence to prove that it does let heat escape when it's sitting still, when there's no airflow, that it does hover over a hot spot. Now you can see it becoming a hot spot again over the front. And then that the place that they want you to place those other vents are over other existing hot spots. So yeah, this is awesome. So let me know what you think. Give me a comment down below, and certainly we could talk about it. I don't know how long I have this thermal imaging camera for, but I'm borrowing it and I don't want to keep it for very long. But yeah, if you have any other ideas, let me know. And yeah, if you've never seen a Jeep thermally, this is how it looks. Let's see what that exhaust looks like. That's so crazy. I can think of a lot of things to use this for. Woo! I don't know what the max temperature on this thing is, but it's certainly pushing the limit looking at this engine. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.